Hey guys, how's it going? It's 8-Bit Eric. Welcome back to the channel. So I am a big advocate for Game Pass. I absolutely love it. I'm like, oh, hell yeah. Game Pass is the shiznit. I like having a steady rotation of games from first-party Xbox titles, third-party, and indie titles that are in there for me to play at any time with a reasonable subscription price. I always thought for its price, Game Pass is an absolute value, especially going into next gen where we're going to see $70 video games and stuff. So, Xbox Game Pass, in addition to the xCloud and the Play Anywhere aspect and the Play on Windows and all that, A-OK. Now, one concern that has been going on recently is whether the prices of Game Pass will be going up once this next gen happens. And Phil Spencer came to the rescue and talked about it on Drop Frames podcast, which we're going to read this article from Destructoid.com. If this is your first time coming to the channel and you have not subscribed yet, why don't you go ahead and hit that subscription button down below, enable your bell notifications so you don't miss when I upload. So here we go. Xbox game prices aren't going up anytime soon. It's completely sustainable as is. So that is good news. End of video. Bye, guys. I'm just kidding. You know, I could not just end it like that. We got to give our thoughts and our opinions. So here we go. For 3 years, Xbox Game Pass has been around. Plenty of people have wondered how Microsoft can balance the books on this type of service. There's always a stupidly low-cost introductory offer, which sometimes they do like Game Pass free for $3 for like 3 months or 2 months, or buy it for $1. Like when I got it, it was join for $1, and all of your Xbox Gold will convert to Game Pass. Great deal. I bought like 2 or 3 years worth of gold, joined Game Pass for $1, and converted all of that. It was like I have 3 years of Game Pass. So it says Xbox Game Pass is on par with Netflix or Hulu or any of the other million entertainment subscription services that exist. The armchair logic has always sort of been that Microsoft is eating the cost of getting stuff on Xbox Game Pass while building a robust user base. So, I mean, that is fair. Sometimes it's like, wow, these are some big, heavy hitters. Couldn't they just make more money selling these games separately? Which is fair. Getting people committed to the Xbox ecosystem is a valid reason for a loss leader. Down the road a bit is when you can jack up the price. So that's been, anticipated. Are they going to jack up the price for Game Pass? So Xbox head Phil Spencer went on the Drop Frames podcast this week, as reported by VGC, and said that Microsoft has no plans to increase the price of Xbox Game Pass anytime soon. We like the value that Game Pass is today, Spencer commented. From a business model, it's completely sustainable the way it is, and I mean that. So that is refreshing to hear the Xbox boss basically say it's sustainable. They like it the way it is. They're not going to mess with it. So, yeah, that's good news for us people that are going to be getting a Series X in the next gen. We're not going to have to pay a higher price for more stuff. And you get xCloud on top of that. You get to play it on your Windows PCs, and you get to play it on your consoles. Good news on there. And then there's a rumor of it coming over to iOS through a browser support, and you can play it on your Android phone. All in all, I think Xbox Game Pass, great value. Say what you want about digital age, say what you want about not owning the physical games. I cannot get enough of Game Pass. I love it. I personally love it. I still buy physical copies of games and stuff, but Game Pass has saved me so many times. So it says Spencer goes on to emphasize how Xbox Game Pass allows more types of video games to get published. There's a lot of things that wouldn't work from a business standpoint under the traditional retail model. However, Game Pass gives those more creative games a new home, as millions of players have the option to check them out at no risk. And that's what I like, especially because Xbox just announced most of their first-party games will be available day one on Game Pass. Not to mention, I played Battletoads day one on Game Pass when that first came out. There was also, I believe, Blair Witch and a few other games where day one it just popped in. So my method of madness for next gen is when some of these games hit day one on Game Pass, boom, pop that sucker in and play it. So it says it ends up providing value for the customer to developer in Game Pass as a service. So it's like a no risk thing. Now, I don't know how much Microsoft or Xbox pays developers to put their games on Game Pass, or if those developers have to pay Game Pass. But as far as indie games go, it's amazing to discover indie games on there. So much easier than the Switch eShop. The Switch eShop gets thousands of titles a year, even a month. So many titles that games beyond a week get overlooked and forgotten about. I think if Nintendo had some kind of Game Pass type of service where they have a steady rotation for games for a month, they could showcase indie games, third-party games, and games that might get overlooked in the Switch eShop, but they don't. But I think Microsoft does a good job promoting some of the, obscure, unknown titles through Game Pass. You'll see it on your home. You'll see it in the actual store of Game Pass. You can see titles that you never know. Like, there's so many times when I see an indie game come out on Switch, I check Game Pass, and it's in there. Like, for example, Spiritfarer. I was like, oh, snap. Spiritfarer is in Game Pass? I'm not buying it on Switch. I'm going to play it for free on Game Pass. Or at least for part of the service that I'm paying for. So it says that has kind of been the company line for Xbox Game Pass all along, though. The surprising part is hearing that it's perfectly sustainable as is. Either profitable or taking losses minor enough that Microsoft's comfortable absorbing them. It's a thriving service, but Microsoft isn't going to use that as an opportunity to raise the subscription price. At least not anytime in the near future, as my tongue refuses to move. A-E-I-O-U. So this is pretty good. I'm glad they're not looking at jacking up the price. I think it's fine where it's at. I know that's easy for me to say as a consumer, but dollar for dollar, value for value with Xbox Game Pass, I think it's one of the best things they've done. It's getting with the times. It's providing a different avenue for games to be played on Xbox consoles, and me personally, again, I will never stop advocating for it. Ever since I got it a year or two ago, it's just been great. I've been enjoying getting on there, checking the games out, seeing the rotation, discovering new indie games. I like indies, especially if they're going to be on cross-platform. And instead of getting it on the Switch for the $20 that it might cost, it's in my Game Pass subscription. I'm getting it digitally either way. Might as well just download Spiritfarer. I think the other one was the Hyper Project. The weird internet one that came out that was like internet browser based. I played that on Game Pass. And then, of course, you get like the games like Blair Witch and other random indies. Fallout's been on there. GTA 5 has been on there. They put some heavy hitters on there. Alien Isolation. There's been quite a few games. So I like the variety that they offer. So keep the price. Thank you, Microsoft. What are your guys' thoughts? I'd like to know your opinions in the comment section down below. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. I'll see you guys on the next one. Have a great day. Peace out.